Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Bringing you another video with the RM250 today. Man, I am so excited with how this bike is coming along, and today's gonna be no different. We're gonna be mounting up some tires, so it should be a lot of fun. Let's get to it. Now, in the last video, we laced and trued the wheels, and they came out absolutely badass. Really happy with these. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out over on the channel. Now we just gotta top these wheels off with some tires. Got the new Tusk T35s here. I've had my eyes on these for a while and wanted to try them out. Now we gotta mount them up and see how they are. Got the wheels set up with new rim locks and rim bands. Just gonna get the tires and tubes all ready to go. I like to start with the tubes in the tires. Always helps to have a little baby powder, prevent chafing the tire against the tube. We're gonna just go ahead and stuff the tube in the tire. Then we're gonna set this thing outside and let it heat up in the sun. All right, the tire is nice and soft and gummy, ready to go on the rim. We're gonna spray some lube around the bead of the tire here. Now we're gonna see if this tire is directional. Usually there'll be an arrow on the sidewall here, or you can just look at the tread. Doesn't look directional, I don't see any arrows, so tire can just be mounted either way. So I'm gonna pull the cap off the tube, as well as one of the nuts. And the valve stem is gonna be the first thing we're gonna line up with the rim. So this step I always find easier to do with the tire on the ground. This gives you a little better leverage. But basically line up the valve stem with the rim here, push it on through, and get this nut threaded on down. That way the valve stem is straight up and down and doesn't get cocked sideways. And then just push that tire on as much as you can by hand. Now, if you want to protect your rim against scratches from mounting the tire, you can either use a set of rim protectors and some metal tire irons, or a plastic set of tire levers here. Either way works good. Sometimes the plastic levers don't hold up quite as good if you're really stressing them. So that's where I would use the rim protectors. But we're gonna give the stubbies a try here. At this point, you want to tuck the tube all the way inside the tire, flip it over. As you can see, the rim lock isn't fully inside the tire, so we're going to need to pull the tire over that rim lock. You want to make sure the nut is loose, that way you can move it up and down. And just get a lever on either side of that rim lock, pull it up, then you want to push the rim lock in, release those levers, and you're all set. Now is a good time to add some air to the tube. This helps just get it situated in there. Prevents it from getting pinched up. I like to add about 20 psi. Then I'll release all the air by pulling out the valve stem core. Then we're gonna spray down this side of the bead with the lube as well. And I like to start at the rim lock. Let's get the tire down on both sides of it. As you're going in, push that rim lock in so that way it's inside the tire. Start working your way around. If you'd like to use a bead buddy, it's a good time to throw one in right now. Sometimes that rim lock will actually hold the tire in place. This is what I was talking about. It's a bead buddy. Basically goes in the rim like this, holds the bead down, basically prevents the tire from coming up as you're working the way around. Although sometimes these do scratch up the spokes and the rim. So I'm gonna try to get away without using it this time. So just work your way around, take about 3 to 4 inch chunks out of it. Looks like that rim lock is holding the tire in place. You could actually probably tighten that thing down a little bit. And as you're working your way around, keep pushing that tire in, making sure it is down inside the rim. That is pretty crucial to getting the tire on. Gives you a lot more room to work with over here. And what's nice about these plastic irons, it doesn't really make sense, plastic iron. What's nice about the plastic levers is that they don't really catch the tube. They don't really have any sharp edges to pop the tube with. But you still want to be careful. Now as you get towards the end here, take smaller chunks out of it, maybe 2 to 3 inch bites at a time. This tire is going on really good though. And then as you're getting toward the end, try not to pull the lever all the way down. That could possibly pinch that tube. And then also you just need to lighten up on it so that way you can get the next one in. And then work them over. Should only need one more bite with this one. Should be able to just snap this one on by hand. Sweet. That was actually really easy. Probably one of the easier tires I've ever mounted. And like I was saying, what's nice about these things, not a single scratch in the rim. Looks absolutely perfect still. Let's get the valve stem core back in the tube and air this thing up. Get the beads seated all the way around. Sometimes you hear a pop as the thing seats. All right, looks good on this side. I'm gonna flip it over and see how the other side looks. Looks like it's seated good on this side as well. I'm gonna go ahead and set the tire pressure. I'm gonna run 12 on this one. All right, the rear tire is all good to go. I'm gonna hold off on the rim lock and valve stem hardware for now. I'm gonna let this thing sit and check the tire pressure in a few minutes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna move on to the front. Speaking of tires, this beast is gonna need some new treads. Pretty much wore them all the way down to the cords here. As you can see, it's in major need of an alignment. But I got some new tires over here. Got some 33s I'm gonna mount up. And while we're at it, we gotta clean this thing up too. She is mighty dirty. I feel bad, I've just been neglecting it. Been so busy, but she'll clean up good. Good, bro. So we're here at my brother Devin's shop. If you can't tell, he's pretty heavy in the cars. He's got a couple Evos, got an FRS. This thing's pretty badass. But he has a tire mounting machine and balancer over here. Dude, look at those Brembos though. Drop her on down, man. See how she looks. Oh yeah, looking sweet. All right, thanks bro. Thanks for hooking it up.
Better do a fatty burnout on the way out of here.
Oh, I will. I'll frickin' burn these things off. All right, she is looking pretty fresh. It's crazy what some new tires on a little wash will do. Got to give a big shout out to Devin for helping with getting these tires on. I will have his channel linked up in the corner of the screen. Yeah, I almost want to do some more stuff to this truck now. Maybe some wider wheels, some 12-inch wide, some new headlights possibly. Give it a little freshen up. All right, we're just gonna get the front tire all mounted up. Usually these are a lot more fun. They're quite a bit easier to mount up than the rears. So on the front here, I ran 14 PSI, and the last thing we gotta do, our little cherry on top, is gonna be these blue rim lock towers, and we also got some valve stem caps too. And then for the tube, I just run a rubber up against the rim here and a valve stem cap. I try not to use a nut on there just because pretty much prevents the tube from flexing and could rip off the valve stem there. So just the rubber grommet and a valve stem cap on top. That is fresh. These things are just popping out here in the sunlight. Still can't believe these are stock wheels, stock hubs, stock spokes, stock rims from 2001. Just crazy. Goes to show you don't need aftermarket stuff to make your bike look good. Just some coatings, and that's basically it. You can start to see the yellow and blue theme that I'm going with. It'll be a lot of fun seeing this bike come together. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are not aware, this RM250 that I'm building will be given away when it's all finished up, hopefully here in a few months. Well, if I can get my button gear, it'll be sooner than that. But if you'd like to sign up for that giveaway, just hit the link down below in the description. Well, that was actually a really solid day. Got some new shoes mounted up on the RM as well as the truck. That was actually a lot of fun. Figured out how to mount truck tires. Something new, never done that before. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. We'll be doing a rebuild on the rear shock, so that'll be a lot of fun too. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and hope you all have a great 4th of July. I'll see you soon. Take care.